What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So this video, we're going to be leaving the truck in the garage and we're going to be taking the Honda out for a spin. Sorry for the background noise. Pops is mowing the lawn, but yeah, this thing, it's doing pretty good. It's you know, I think it's leaking some coolant. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the coolant. I think I'm going to buy a radiator cap for it because it's leaking out of the top and it fills the reservoir up. And I don't know if that's a problem some of you guys have had or not, but it's something that I've been battling for a while. But otherwise, it's running really good. I touched up the tune a little bit. Like the other day, I went to go, I went like, you know, a couple towns over, about an hour drive from work there. I was going to take my ASE test, which I passed, luckily. Not luckily, but, you know, you guys know. It was the brakes one, so I'm going to take some more pretty soon, but hopefully pass all my ASEs and, you know, just further myself in my career. Anyway, enough about me. I plan to take this thing out to get gas tonight, and I was thinking about maybe showing you guys some tuning related stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I got my light is on for the washer fluid level, even though I just filled the jug, so that's kind of weird to me. I don't know what's broken. Something's busted. This thing's all full of grass. Maybe if I get back at a decent time, I'll wash it, but I'm probably gonna have to wash it at some point, maybe on Thursday. Anyway, yeah, let's take this thing out for a rip. Alright guys, so we are 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds in here, and yeah, I just want to know if you guys can see the screen, if you see my cursor, you see what's going on. Hopefully this is going to be a good tester video, but essentially I wanted to give you guys a basic HTS or Honda Tuning Suite rundown here before we go for a ride. So basically this is your fuel table. You have RPM over here, and over here you have inches of mercury, you know, or vacuum rather, you know, whatever you like to say. Inches of vacuum, it's inches of mercury in vacuum or whatever, and then it's going to transition over to boost pressure here, which is in PSI. So the density is kind of crazy on this graph because I got like a 4-bar map sensor. I don't know why I did that. It was kind of a bad idea in hindsight. But yeah, don't get a 4-bar. Get a 3-bar if you can. Anyway, it doesn't really affect it that much, but you have less density up here. Between 6 and 10 and 14 pounds of boost, it's all kind of, you know, I wish I had like 2-pound increments, you know. You could really dial it in a bit better, but in boost, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, so we're just going to get things fired up here, and we'll see what it looks like on the graph. Things should start moving around, and then we can get moving. So, got her fired up. That warm start is a little weird. This light is on. Don't know why. Kind of making me upset. Something's wrong. I hooked something up wrong, I guess. Or the level sensor is stuck, because I filled the jug. It shouldn't be on. I don't know why it's on. Anyway, hopefully that's not too blinding. It's blinding me. But this thing right here is not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. Oh, maybe that'll work. Alright. Anyway, this guy right here, get rid of the copyright music, is pretty much what you're going to mess with for the most part. Now here's the timing table. If you guys want to take note what my timing values are, it looks like, yeah, we're running, I got her dialed into like 18 degrees right here, all in this area, so we're at about 18 degrees of timing. So, you know, if that's a lot to you, cool. If that's not a lot, whatever. That's what I've been running for a while. Seems to run okay. Yeah, so we're gonna get moving here. I'll switch this back to fuel map there, and I don't have VTEC, so this is that's your low cam, this is your high cam, but I don't have to worry about that because I'm always in low cam because it is a single cam. So, alright guys, so we're just gonna go for a little ride and we'll try to monitor some stuff here. So first things first, what you want to do is pay attention to the road. Don't try to be a hero and tune while driving. For the most part, I do it at stoplights or pull over and things like that when I need to make major changes. these changes. So first thing I want to do is connect the emulator. So I'm going to go here, real-time emulation's on. I'm going to turn it off so I can download the tune from the emulator. And now we're downloaded. So we got the tune downloaded. And here it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to record. So we're going to turn on the data logger. And here we are, we're data logging. So we're kind of doing some cell tracing here, and it's seeing where we're at on the map. So we can watch our wideband over here, and that's going to correspond with where we are over here. And we have that input here. It should match up pretty good on the screen right here. So you can kind of watch that as I drive and see what that does. I'll try to make that full screen right now. As I get into boost, it gets progressively richer. And as you get into the higher boost, you really kind of want to be around 11.5. I've kind of mentioned that before. So we were kind of almost there. We were kind of in the 12s, 11.9, but only around 5 pounds. We didn't get to 10 pounds. I think it's a bit richer up there. But otherwise, when you're driving around, you kind of want to be in the range that we're at right now. See, it looks like the data logger kind of locked up and it's stuck at 16. I'm not really sure why that's the case, but that's just what happened. You know, we can try to stop the data log, and I know we're recording a data log now. Turn it off and turn it back on. Yeah, it still doesn't like life, so it is what it is. It's stuck. Sometimes you're going to run into issues with the program. Any tuning software, it's not perfect. You're not always going to have the latest version. Sometimes when you update, it breaks things. Sometimes files get corrupt. So if I have any lessons, you guys, or any advice, it's save over and over and over again. Save, because make redundant saves. Like, don't just save on the same file, because if you lose that one, you may have to go way back. If you have numerous save files, every time you make a change, you can go back 1 or 2 changes. Especially A, if you mess something up, or B, if you don't mess something up, if the program messes up and it ends up screwing up one of your gotta chase this guy down here. Well, guys, if there was a reason not to turbo your car, it'll be today's gas prices. Unless you have access to cheap E85, because gas prices are ridiculous. I really wish we had E85 around here, because I could ease the burden a little bit. But anyway, we'll get this thing fired back up. Have to go around the other way. think I was running on fumes, guys. I was like below E, and I was behind that VW guy, and I was trying to be cool and follow him. But I think I was running lean because I was like, there's no fuel in the tank. So anyway, gauge's pretty accurate, except for the gas light didn't come on yet. So I never really ran it that low. I never had the gas light come on in this thing, and I guess I run out of gas before the light comes on, so that's good to know. Anyway, it's the opposite in the truck. I set up the pumps at a different level. That tells me that I have no gas before I'm out of gas. This tells me I have gas when I don't. So, good to know. You gotta know those subtle things there, but I won't run it that low again. So we're topped off now. Air fuels are looking a bit better, just cruising. And yeah, I got into it, and it bucked. It bucked on me, and that's when I knew something was wrong, because this thing doesn't buck. The tune's pretty solid right now. I don't have any lean spots. You can tell when you got a lean spot in the tune, because it'll buck on you. You know, like you'll feel it, and you kind of hear it too. So you kind of got to just be in tune with everything and pay attention, and then, you know, you'll do a pretty good job tuning. So right now we're running kind of lean, cruising a little bit here and there, 15 or 16, but it's okay because we're in really light part throttle. So when you're in part throttle like this, you can kind of run it a little leaner, get some increased fuel economy, but at the same time, you know, you're not going to hurt anything, like run up a valve or anything like that. Obviously ideal is your 14.7, but you could always run a little bit leaner. Anyway, I'm trying to think of something that I can show you guys on the tune, but I pretty much fixed a lot of the spots that were giving me trouble. I kind of have a little lean spot right in here, right in between like 20 inches of vacuum, and it kind of goes nice, and then it gets somewhere in there, it gets a bit leaner, and so that's kind of like in this area right here, from say 1750 to like, you know, 14.5. It's kind of in this area. I'm just going to highlight that whole area there, because a lot of that we're not going to actually be in, but the middle section around here we will be for sure. So when you look at this, you kind of just got to see there's only some areas of the map that are what you would call drivable areas where you're going to be while driving, and other areas you're not going to be. So sometimes I just highlight a non-drivable area to modify that too, but it doesn't really need to be modified, this whole lower section. But what I might do here, because I have a spot where it just doesn't quite line up, like I have further in the table, I have spots that are richer, and then I have a lean spot, and then it gets rich again. So it's kind of out of sequence. So what they have is interpolate, which what interpolate does is it makes sure that all the values coincide with each other, so that, like, you know, you have 24, 23, 22, 21, and now 24, 27, you know, 23, 22, 28, you know, just random high numbers in there. It kind of tends to make all the numbers want to go in sequential order. It'll smooth down those weird areas and the areas around it. So sometimes it can really throw your tune off if you interpolate and you had something that was pretty dialed and you interpolated it. It may throw it off, but overall the table is going to be smoother. So sometimes you got to take that hit on your table in order for the eventual end goal to look better. So anyway, at the end of that whole rant, what I want to do is interpolate this, which is one of these icons up here, which is there's smooth, and we have interpolate XY. So we're gonna hit that, and that's gonna change some values for us. And you know, maybe that'll be good. Maybe we'll have some issues in there, and we're just gonna have to see. But we can bring that whole area up as a unit if we have an issue in there. See, I'm seeing right now, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit leaner, or I'm sorry, richer than we have to be, around 20 inches of vacuum. Kind of going down at home now, it's hard to do it, but yeah. So we're looking okay. I think that was a pretty decent change that we made. We're just gonna have to see. And that's the thing about tuning. For me, it's like a real long haul, because you make a change and then you may not drive in that area for a little while. So, you know, you notice that, and then next time you're on that road, you have that same sort of lean spot, you know, and you're chasing after it. That's the thing about having a wideband. You have somebody tune your car, and, you know, they tune it on the dyno, or they do whatever they're going to do, and that whole situation is solved in your eyes. It's tuned, and you're never going to stare at a wideband and say, hey, that's lean right there, or this and that. And a lot of times they will turn on the widebands. It depends on what vehicle you got going on, but they'll turn on the actual O2 sensor, and that'll do those trims, those little trims that you need to do to make everything perfect. It'll trim that fuel out for you, though, the 2% or 3% that we're off, you know, when we're driving down the road. And that'll account for variability, moisture, and different weather scenarios. So it's good to have the fuel trims on. But for me, I like to run off the mat because it keeps me on my toes, keeps me, you know, always tuning, which is good because that's how you learn. You're always tuning, you're always modifying, you're always learning. I run my truck like that too. I have the O2s off. It's purely off my map. Some people might say that's dumb, I'm working too hard, but at the same time, you know, you get better at building tables and better at things like that. So that's why I do things like that. Chevy towing a Dodge. Yep, no surprise there. But yeah, so anyway, just cruising really, and we made that one little change. Seems like everything's pretty happy. I think we could definitely, in the lower R's, we could lose a little bit of fuel down here. Maybe we'll do a little bit of smoothing right here. So we'll go right here, we'll just do smooth. Actually, guys, hang on. I kind of messed up. I didn't apply the changes, so any changes I made didn't get applied yet because I don't have the auto tuning or immediate upload on. So I kind of need to go over here and click upload. So now that I uploaded, now those changes are going to be made. So now everything has been changed. Now we'll see how everything behaves. But, you know, at the end of the day, I did make those changes, and we just applied them now. So now we can see. But like I said, you know, you may not drive in that area for a while. So it's kind of just like, you know, you're making tweaks. You see what works. You see what doesn't work. And, you know, that's that. That's tuning. You know, there's not much more to it than that. You're just kind of making little fuel changes. When you first get things started, that's going to be something that you're going to have to try to figure out. Getting started is a difficult thing to do, and you need to figure out your injector sizing mainly. That's the biggest thing with getting started is injectors. And I had videos on that when I modified it, and I told you what settings I had. And, you know, this is what works for me, and maybe I didn't do it right or something like that. And there's plenty of people that may say that, oh, your settings are wrong, you should do this, you should do that. And they're probably right, but this works for me. And it's not like dyno proven results or anything like that, but like my car runs, and it runs pretty good. You know, it's not the best running car. It's got issues here and there. It stumbles, you know, this and that. But it runs, and it, you know, it doesn't stall, or, you know, it always starts. So I don't know. I don't care. Maybe that's just a bad mentality to have. I know things could always be better, and this and that, but I'm totally fine with the setup that I've got going on. It seems to work for me, and I'm very cheap. You know, you may pay a tuner a ton of money, and then they still get you some kind of tune where you're driving around and lean, and you pop a motor, your motor blows up, or you burn a valve, and you're like, wow, I don't know what happened, you know. And then it's like, okay, what if it was the tune? What if the tune sucked? I think that's a big possibility. So, you know, for lack of better explanation, I don't trust anybody to tune it but myself. And now that I've had more experience, I I feel more confident. This car just eats. This car loves life. Yeah, the air fuels look really pretty good up top, guys. Like they come right around to what they need to be. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just gotta get this meth injection figured out. I know I'm slacking. That's just the nature of it. I gotta dial it up a little bit in this area, I think. So we're gonna do over here we have adjust selection. We're gonna hit this, and we're gonna give it like 2% fuel in this area. Hit enter, and then we're gonna upload by going over here, and that should hopefully in that area give us a little more fuel. We're kind of lugging it out in fifth gear a little bit too. So right around $2,000 is what we're looking at here. Give it another 2%. We're working with small values here, you know. It's really minuscule stuff, but it does make a difference. See that 10 inches of vacuum section there, just outside of where we're at, needs a little bit. Just right over here needs it too. And I think we'll be in it right there. And that's kind of where we're having an issue. So we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna put in 2%, and now we're gonna upload again, and now we'll see how it is. But now, see, I'm not driving anymore, so I gotta get back to that point. I like it. Got a little bit of freaking lean spot, but it's much better. So now what we'll do is we'll come over this whole thing here, and we'll go to we'll give it the old smooth. And we can't forget to upload right there, and we uploaded it. Now this is kind of just fine tuning, guys. These are the tweaks of tuning. When you're going about doing your initial tune, you're probably going to want to do something that is, you know, I've been thinking about what I'm doing, and I like to help you guys, and that's kind of the idea behind the whole channel. And so I feel like if I could give you guys my files, give you guys my, you know, all my tunes that I've created, it would make your guys' lives easier for you to build off of that, you know? I mean, some of you, maybe you could run my exact tune. I just don't think it's going to be the case. I think everybody's setup is different. They all make power different spots, different turbos, different manifolds, different exhaust setups, different everything, different cars, different gear ratios. Just everything is so much different that the tune is it doesn't just carry over. It's not like that. Everybody's environment's different. It's hotter in some places than other places for some people. So it's just, everything's totally going to be different. So you can't just take somebody's tune, put it on your car, and run it. You might be able to get close, and I think that might be the step a lot of you guys need to maybe tune yourself, is have a bass map available. And I know there's some people out there that, you know, can't get their vehicle started or something like that, you know, and they end up having to take it somewhere, and you know, it costs money. So if I can save that for you guys, I'll try to do that. I want to try to upload my tunes on the internet and see if I can have you guys download them. So I'm gonna make an attempt to do that. You guys should look forward to that coming up, and I'll try to get whatever I can up there. The problem is they're not named at the best things. I usually go by the date. But at least if I could post something, you know, from the naturally aspirated days maybe, and then a turbo base map, and I guess the map that I have now is probably the best map that I've ever created. It's always getting better, it's always getting tweaked, so I just gotta give you guys that. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. It's gonna come to a close here. So that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to cap it off, you know, throw a little outro here. So if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, definitely subscribe, you know, watch some other of my videos to see if you see something you like. And if you don't see something that you're looking for, like a tuning video on a specific thing, that's relatively easy for me to do. As far as how to make a bass map or something like that, I have some videos like that. So, you know, just kind of poke around. If you can't find it, then let me know and I'll try to make a video of some specific tuning stuff, or I can answer your questions if you're, you know, trying to do this yourself. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely subscribe to see more, and yeah, peace out.